Well, preparations for the World Cup begin here for Australia, taking on New Zealand tonight in Canberra. We are very, very excited for this match. Of course, this is a friendly game, the first of two friendlies against New Zealand, but this is a chance for players to step up and show head coach Tony Popovich what they've got, because we know the squad is going to be, competition for places is going to be so intense over the lead up to the World Cup, which is less than a year away. On the right hand side of the screen here, we've got the lineup. Now, this isn't a confirmed formation. This is my assessment of what we will see from Australia tonight. In regards to the formation, the setup, it does look like a very intriguing lineup. Some interesting calls here from head coach Tony Popovich, and we'd love to get your thoughts as well. Hello to everyone joining us here live. How's it going? Hope you've had a great week. It's Friday. It's a Friday evening. The Socceroos are back in action, and the vibes are good. The vibes are good, man. So how you guys going? Jump in, say good day. And two questions. What are your thoughts on the lineup? What are your thoughts on the lineup? Are you happy with it? Are there some players that you may be disappointed are missing out on the starting 11? And on top of that, what's your score prediction heading into this game? What are we expecting from this contest? We'll talk about New Zealand's lineup in a moment too. They've named a really pretty, relatively strong lineup there as well. So this should be a fun game to watch. It really should be. So just over 10 minutes or so before kickoff. Hit the like button as well. Support the channel. Great to see Valhoon here. Spencer, Leah Senna, Siphoning's here as well. G'day. Leah Senna says, I'm Blocky, I'm back. Good to see you here, man. Valhoon asks, false 9? Question mark. Spencer also says, just notice we don't have a proper 9 starting. Yeah, that is one of the big interesting calls from Tony Popovich in this lineup, what we're seeing here. My expectation is that Mohamed Toure was going to start this game, but to me, I think it may well be Martin Boyle. Valhoon questions whether it could be a false 9. I mean, maybe we could even see someone like Aiden Hrustic play a central role, and maybe Metcalf and Boyle off the wings. But yeah, I feel like Martin Boyle might play as a central striker. So yeah, we'll see. Spencer says would have preferred Gauchi. That was the other one as well. I think I was predicting Gauchi to start. He feels like that. Joe Gauchi is probably the next in line behind Matty Ryan as a starting Socceroos goalkeeper. But hey, great to see Paul Uzo get his Socceroos debut here. He deserves it. He's had a great especially last few years. Have been, he's been in some great form over the last few years. Paul Uzo. Alrighty. Spencer's also predicting a 2-1 win for Australia. Yeah, look, I think it will be close. I don't think Australia will necessarily run away with this game tonight. I'm not expecting that tonight from Australia. I think on home soil, we should be expected to win here against New Zealand. Again, New Zealand, good team with some top players in their team. Sarpreet Singh starting tonight, Chris Wood, Callum McCowart. They've got a quality side there, New Zealand. So this will be a good test tonight for Australia. There's no doubt about that as well. There's no doubt about that. Alrighty. Lightning here saying that my score prediction will be 3-1 Australia. Chris Wood for New Zealand, and Aaron Kunta, Segacic and Degenik goals for Oz. So maybe some players starring off the bench. Of course, a lot of hype and excitement around the likes of Adrian Segacic and Nestor Nkunda. Those two guys not starting tonight. We've got some really exciting players on the bench. So obviously, Segacic can come on and make his debut. Nicholas Milanovic can make his debut. I believe the player who has missed out on the bench is Noah Botic. I didn't see him named on the bench. G'day, Hunter, who says Paul Uzo is definitely deserving of a cap. G'day, Carl here. Welcome to the live chat, mate. And Spencer says, I think that this is the closest / most even New Zealand has been. Spencer's also backing Chris Wood and Connor Metcalf to score. Leoson is also predicting 3-2 to Australia. Siphoning says Glover deserves a cap. Yeah, on the bench tonight, once again, Tom Glover yet to make his first appearance for Australia, despite being named in a few squads over the years. Looking at this lineup too, I think it's quite apparent. Like, it's not necessarily our strongest 11, it feels like. But this may well be a situation where we see a completely different 11 for game 2. Almost completely. I think different 11 for game 2. I think Geordie Boss might start both games. But yeah, there's some top players who aren't starting tonight for Australia. So that's something that I said in my preview video that we may well see from the Socceroos, where it is essentially 2 different starting 11s. Which I think for these friendlies is probably the way to go. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind it. Lightning asks, doesn't the Australian transfer window close on 13th of September? I believe it's the 15th. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's the Monday. I believe it is the 15th of September. Yeah, around about that. So, yeah, not long to go. That's the A-League men's transfer window, specifically the A-League men's transfer window there, closing in 10 days? So, not a lot of time left now for the A-League teams. Of course, we've... a lot of these players have come through the A-League system. No current A-League players in the Socceroos squad this time around. Carl, is that a 4-3 win for New Zealand you're predicting? Wow, I mean, hey, would love a high-scoring game. That'd be fun. Hunter says Google has Teague starting up front in their lineup with Metcalf and Boyle on the wings. I doubt that's right, though. Yeah, hey, I'd be very surprised if Teague was starting as striker tonight. Lightning asks, isn't Irvine still injured? Yes, indeed. Yeah, still coming back from injury, but hopefully we see him returning real soon. Because we know Jackson Irvine, he's a player who really stepped up big time for the Socceroos over the past year. Got amongst the goals. And it was against China and Indonesia. Hey, he scored some goals, didn't he? Jackson Irvine. So he for me is still a pretty crucial player for the Socceroos, and I think may well be starting in the Australia's strongest midfield setup. Jackson Irvine's probably starting. But so I think even looking at the two midfielders today, Yazbek and Teague, big opportunity for those guys. Ryan Teague, Tony Popovic clearly pretty keen to give Ryan Teague as much of an opportunity as possible. And Ryan Teague, the good thing is Ryan Teague has looked very, very comfortable at Socceroos level, hasn't he? So another opportunity for Ryan Teague tonight. Patrick Yazbek also starts after getting he's playing very regularly in the MLS. I am surprised that Aidan O'Neill isn't starting, though. That's the only thing. I did expect O'Neill to get the start as well. Lightning asks, will Suta be fit for the World Cup? Hopefully. Leo723 says, can't wait for Sega. Segacic could make his debut today, of course, as well. And Spencer says, understandable, but a bit to say about no A-League players in the squad. Yeah, obviously A-League off-season. There was a couple where I was like, would be surprised if Popovic, snuck him in as well. Like Anthony Caceres, who's been, playing. He played, 3 competitive games for Macarthur FC in the Australia Cup. So I was like, wouldn't be surprised if Caceres gets included in the squad again, but no, he's not in the team. Who are, some other A-League players who maybe have been in recent squads, but not in this one. Adam Taggart's, of course, not playing at the moment for Perth Glory, who are out of the Cup. Brandon Borrello didn't feature for Wanderers in the Australia Cup. So, yeah. Is Kai Rolls in the squad? Yes. Yes, Kai Rolls is on the bench. Spencer asks, any updates on Mata to Central Coast Mariners? We haven't heard anything on that for weeks now. So, I don't know about that one. I don't know. It was rumored. It was talked about. It was in some reports. But, I haven't heard anything on that. So, kickoff not too far away. How are we feeling? It feels like it's been a while since we've watched the Socceroos. It feels like ages ago since those qualifying matches against Japan and Saudi Arabia. Where Australia, put together 2 fantastic performances to secure our place in the World Cup. And that's the other thing too. Again, we should not ignore the fact at all that under Tony Popovic, Australia are still yet to lose. We're coming up to now a year since Tony Popovic's first match in charge. We are yet to lose a game with Tony Popovich in charge. It's a fantastic record that we've got going here. And hopefully we can really keep this rolling over the next year into the World Cup. Like, imagine if we just, obviously, next winter for Australia, we should acknowledge we're coming up against USA and Canada, two of the host nations of next year's World Cup. So that'll be a difficult test for Australia, of course. But yeah, man. Like, if we could keep the winning ways going, or at least if we could stay at least undefeated all the way to the World Cup, that'll give us a huge, just mental boost more than anything, hey? Hunter also says, Beach, I'm not surprised. Oh, sorry, it says, is who I'm surprised at not being included. Surprised that he's not included, Beach, says Hunter. Yeah, that's another player who I think could have been in the mix. Obviously, as a Beach, regular for the Socceroos over the years now. And obviously had that magical moment for Australia against Japan a couple of months ago. As the players are coming out of the tunnel as we speak in Canberra. Chilly night in Canberra. But yeah, no, Azaz Baich, who didn't play in the round of 32 Australia Cup match for Melbourne City, where they fielded a number of youngsters in that game, Melbourne City. So Azaz Baich's last competitive game was against Saudi Arabia all those months ago. Spencer asks, early predictions on who will be in our group for the World Cup. I'd love to see us against South Africa or Egypt, also Uruguay or Italy would be great, says Spencer. Dude, I mean, hopefully, look, I'm keen. Yeah, like I'm excited to play, some different nations that maybe we haven't played before. It was always, it was frustrating. I think we're all obviously really frustrated to see that. Australia drew France 2 World Cups in a row. France, just obviously a top quality footballing side there in France. So, look, as long as we get a relatively easy group, fingers crossed for that. But hey, we'll see. We'll see in December when the draw happens. John P7, g'day John, says I was surprised to see no Craig Goodwin in the squad. Again, another star player for the Socceroos. Apparently, I think I remember seeing that he's been out with injury for Adelaide. Although I did see a photo of him featuring in a preseason friendly for Adelaide the other day. So I imagine maybe he's just coming back. But again, no competitive football of late for Craig Goodwin. That's right, Spencer. Yeah, France and Denmark. If we can just avoid those two again. Dude, imagine if we drew like one of those teams. Like imagine if we drew France like for a third consecutive World Cup. That would just be incredible. But hey, actually, having said that, of course, we defeated Denmark in the last World Cup. So, hey, maybe we wouldn't mind drawing Denmark again. But, hey, we might need to call Matt Leckie up to the squad again. So, the teams are out. National anthems are being sung. Australia and New Zealand. Plenty of players in the two teams who know each other, mostly from the A-League. You look at the New Zealand squad, a lot of either current or former A-League players there as well. England, I assume you're saying that you'd like to see Australia come up against England in the World Cup. I mean, that would be cool. That would be cool. Obviously, a lot of expectation around England heading into a World Cup, as always. So that would be epic. Like, imagine if Australia defeated England. I know that would be a huge upset, but yeah. Leo said 23 with some questions here regarding Sydney FC. Says, Lockie, what are your thoughts on Leo Senna's departure and Piero Quispe's signing? The Quispe signing looks like a good one. Looks like a really good one. 24 years of age, attacking player. They needed to sign, an attacking midfielder like that. So it looks like a good move. And Leo Senna's departure, I think, is a disappointing one. He was good last season, struggled with injuries here and there, but yeah, Sydney FC, just for whatever reason, we don't know, just weren't keen on keeping Senna around. Mutual termination of the contract, right? So he departs earlier than expected. Yeah. If I was a Sydney FC fan, I'd be disappointed. Like, it would have been cool to see Paul Ocon Jr. line up alongside Leo Senna in Sydney FC's midfield. Hunter says, I've joked with people that if we get a group with New Zealand, Japan, and Uruguay, arguably our biggest rivals, and all confirmed for the World Cup. Yeah. Well, how does it work? I've forgotten how does it work? You guys could probably let me know. How does it work with like not drawing teams from the same confederation? Isn't that a thing? Or am I making that up? Isn't that a thing? No, of course, no, it wouldn't be a thing because, of course, Australia played Japan a few World Cups ago. Is there a rule for that? If not, I feel like there should be. Anyway. Hunter says, I'm sure Sydney fans are hoping that Costa doesn't follow centre out. Yeah, we're yet to hear the final word on what's happening with Douglas Costa. He should be returning for Sydney FC, but hasn't yet. G'day, Tarnley! Welcome to the chat, mate. Good to see you here. Worth mentioning as well, Miloš Degenek wearing the captain's armband tonight for Australia. Huge moment for the experienced defender, and well deserved that he's wearing the armband tonight. Degenek, player who has performed really consistently and really well for Australia for many years now. For many years. Pretty healthy crowd in Canberra. Nearly every seat full. A lot of exciting players on the bench tonight. Milanovic, Toure, Segecic. A lot of strength on that bench, man. Aidan O'Neill, Lewis Miller, Nestor and Kunda as well. We'd love to see him. Dude, Max Ballard, obviously being a Mariners fan, would love to see Max Ballard get his first Socceroos appearance here today. New Zealand's lineup is strong, man. Francis De Vries, Tim Payne, the two A-League fullbacks there for New Zealand. Tyler Bindon, Michael Boxall in the heart of defence. Joe Bell and Ryan Thomas should be those two central midfielders for New Zealand. Chris Wood, of course, leading the line. Sarpreet Singh, Elijah Justin, Callum McCowett. Exciting attacking players. And Ben Old's on the bench. Of course, we remember how good Ben Old was for Wellington Phoenix a couple of years ago. Experienced striker Costa Barbarouses also on the bench for New Zealand. Kickoff is about to get underway. How are we feeling? Jump in the comments, jump in the live chat. Say g'day. It's Australia versus New Zealand. Preparations for the World Cup begin now. Australia are going to the World Cup, and so are New Zealand. This is the Soccer Ashes, a rivalry between these two nations. Let's hope that Australia can kick off our World Cup preparations here with a win. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do so now. Support the stream. You can also consider sending through a super chat. Debut tonight for Paul Izzo, former Melbourne Victory, Adelaide United, and Central Coast Mariners goalkeeper. Now playing his club football over at Randers. Starting in goals tonight. And Sarpreet Singh gets the game underway. Kickoff. A chilly night in the capital of Australia, Canberra. I'm keen for this game, man. I'm keen for this game. Here we go. Come on, Australia. New Zealand looking to get on the attack early. Roll through for Izzo. Alrighty. Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's have a look at this lineup for Australia. That does look like number 20, Sammy Silvera, over at right wing back. So the lineup that we've got here on the right of our screen looks to be correct in terms of the formation. What about the front three? Martin Boyle through the middle. That's Connor Metcalf on the left and Hrustic playing on the right more so. Big game tonight for Aiden Hrustic. Great to see him back for the Socceroos tonight. Recently moving back to his former club in the Netherlands after spending some time in Italy. And hopefully a big season coming up for Hrustic, who it's an interesting one for Hayden Hrustic. He's a real experienced player now. But, you've got a lot of really exciting young, players with a lot of potential coming through who could probably take Hrustic's spot in the squad. So it's important that someone like Hayden Hrustic maintains. We know he's a top player. He's a quality player, Hayden Hrustic. He has to maintain his level over the next, over the next 12 months, of course, to make sure he's in that World Cup squad next year. New Zealand looking to break forward. Ball over the top for Chris Wood. Dragged wide. This is good, man. We know Chris Wood, English Premier League striker with Nottingham Forest. Plays regularly for them, of course, as well. So it's a good test for the Aussie defence tonight. That's Tim Payne. Sends one wide. Tony Popovic on the sidelines on the broadcast, alongside Ocon, Hayden Fox. There's coaching staff for Australia who have been doing a great job to navigate the last 12 months of qualifiers. And of course, that last window was an absolute highlight for Tony Popovic in his career. The way that, Australia going into that last window against two really tricky opponents. Saudi Arabia, Japan, fantastic footballing teams. And Australia picking up 2 wins from 2. Like defeating Japan, obviously, just a massive, massive victory there. Good play from Australia down the left. Geordie Boss, here we go. One of the stars of this Socceroos team. Geordie Boss, great run. And the cross, almost in. Joe Bell almost directing it goal bound. But that was Jordan Boss at full flight down the left wing. Fantastic. Recently moving to Feyenoord in Eredivisie and scored a stunning goal last weekend. And wow, no jet lag for Geordie Boss with that sprint down the left. Tan Lee says, so Boyle a striker? Yep. It does appear that Martin Boyle is playing in that central striker position. So corner for Australia. First one of the night. Boyle is going to take it. Jakarta, Deganek in the box. Burgess is there. Metcalf. Only 4 players in the box for Australia. Headed away. Interesting set piece for Australia. Only 4 players really in the vicinity attacking the ball. Wow. Great little moment there for Australia. Geordie Boss down the left. Fantastic. Hunter says, this is feeling like a new golden generation. Feel that Nkunda, Teague, Jakarta will be the ones that are damn near guaranteed the 2030 World Cup spots. Yeah, dude. I mean, you could probably even throw Segacic in the mix if he maintains his trajectory. Oh, here we go. We're way down the left again. It's Boss again. Oh, he cut back. He should have crossed. Geordie Boss. We had attack as central. But for the second time in the opening 5 minutes, Jordan Boss able to drive free down the left. Sammy Silvera, really curious to see how he goes at right wing back tonight, man. We know he's a fantastic winger, but has made a good start this season in the English Championship with Middlesbrough. And it's interesting thinking about Sammy Silvera because for the last year now, like we haven't really seen him much over the last year for the Socceroos, Sammy Silvera. He hasn't really been included in the squads. And it felt like that maybe he was falling out of favour. But I think Sammy Silvera has discovered like a new way into the Socceroos squad. And that role, that way back to the squad is playing in a wing-back position. And very curious to see how he goes tonight in that role that, we usually see Lewis Miller playing. Lewis Miller has done a very good job in that role for Australia in recent times. So Silvera, who's on the ball now, winning the throw. Very curious to see how he goes because we know in attack he's so dangerous going forward. And again, being a Central Coast Mariners fan, I remember what Sammy Silvera did in the 2013 A-League Men's Grand Final off the left wing, but now playing a right wing back. You just wonder how he's going to go defensively for Australia. Especially, I mean, in a World Cup setting when we're coming up against a top nation, I don't know if Sammy Silvera would get that right wing back position if Australia doing a lot of defending. This is probably a situation where Australia want to be on the front foot on the attack. That probably allows Tony Popovic the freedom to bring in an attacking player like Silvera in that position. This is good play from Australia down the left. Boyle just muscled off it by Boxall. There's so many fascinating talking points when you look at this squad and all the different players that we've got lined up tonight. Martin Boyle through the middle. Obviously, we are just accustomed to seeing Martin Boyle play off that right wing for Australia. So, through the middle tonight, I mean, no Mohamed Toure. I would have thought he would have gotten the opportunity. Made a good start in the league season for Randers over in Denmark. And for me, is a player who I think could really step up and be the starting striker for Australia for the foreseeable future. Nice little piece of jockeying there by Silvera to shield that ball over the line for the goal kick. Darren Baisley, the New Zealand head coach, on the broadcast. Great dude. I will say this. I am stoked to see New Zealand at the World Cup. And in a stream, in our last live watch along that we did, which was for the Australia Cup, I think it was, I remember we were talking about who was going to be our sort of your second favourite team at the World Cup next year after Australia. And obviously a lot of people have, other nations that they're connected to and they'll be following. But honestly, I'd love to see New Zealand do well. And we've got, the connection to this New Zealand squad with a lot of A-League players. Francis de Vries, all going to see left back and get about to take the throw. I really hope New Zealand do well. And for me, they're going to be my second team at the World Cup. De Vries, long throw, away by Chikati. Good covering by Yazbek. New Zealand on the front foot here. Long ball in from Bindon. I mean, Australia are just so good defensively under Tony Popovich, getting so many numbers behind the ball. Hunter says it's interesting that Alex Paulson decided to stay in Poland with his team. Makes sense, though, if he wants to become a starter for Bournemouth in his regular club game time too. Yeah, look, great to see him go out on loan, I should say. I mean, he was at Bournemouth, but didn't look like he was going to get to the matchday squad. So I think it's important for someone talented like Alex Paulson to get game time. Look, I don't know whether I'm just biased being an A-League fan, but I have full confidence that Alex Paulson could be a starting goalkeeper in the Premier League, in the near future. For me, Alex Paulson is one of the A-League's greatest ever goalkeepers. We just see what he did at Auckland last season and at Wellington the year before. Real special talent, Alex Paulson. And hopefully a really great season for him in Poland. And, it'll be great for, obviously, the New Zealand national team as well, leading into the World Cup if he's having a good season over there in Europe. But yeah, just for that Paulson and Bournemouth. Again, I might be biased. My A-League goggles on, but I think Alex Paulson could be playing Premier League football soon. I think he's seriously good enough. Tom Lee says, such a deep block. Yeah, going along with what we said a moment ago, yeah. Defending really deep and that strength in defence that Australia have now found. Maybe in past years we've had a little bit of frailty perhaps in defence, but really strong now. New Zealand certainly looking to test our backline, though. I mean, a couple of nervy moments in the back for Australia. Paul Izzo, nicely done. Pressure applied by Chris Wood. Izzo deals with it. New Zealand looking to maintain a bit of forward momentum. Australia just being tested here at the back. This is a good little spell for New Zealand. Sarpreet Singh. Oh, it's a shot. Oh! Well, not too far away from the former Wellington Phoenix midfielder, Sarpreet Singh. A blazing left-footed shot. Which, dude, from the camera angle that here's the reverse angle that they're showing us in the broadcast. Dude, Paul Izzo was not getting to that. It was close. It was very close from Singh. G'day, Water. Says I was surprised to see this starting lineup. Yes, a few surprising calls here, that's for sure. I think we expected to see Gauci start. Boyle at strike. I don't know if anyone expected that either. So Tony Popovic throwing in a couple curveballs, which he always does, man. He always does. It's always so hard to predict a Socceroos lineup these days. Some really exciting players on the bench who I hope we get to see in the second half. With this being a friendly, of course. I mean, hopefully we may even see some change at halftime. Bit of a different setup at halftime, perhaps. I did see that, Hunter. Ange linked with a couple roles. Fenerbahce, yeah, about Bayer Leverkusen. That would be great. Great to see Ange coaching at a top club in Europe once again. That'd be great. So wherever he goes, we're gonna support Ange, back Ange, obviously. But it's great. It's great just to hear that he's been linked with some top clubs. Ange Postecoglou. Where will he go next? "13 minutes in, folks. It's 0-0. And a couple little counter-attacking moments for Australia, but it's been New Zealand who've really been on the front foot. Down the right, here they come. Burgess has to clear, and it's going to be a corner now for New Zealand. So this is an interesting test. This is an interesting test here. New Zealand have got a really good spell of possession here. So it's important that Australia just stay switched on defensively. Want to maintain a clean sheet as well, even though this is a friendly game. Want to keep that defensive record looking real strong. So Francis de Vries, one of the top corner takers, set piece takers in the A-League. Here he comes with the in-swinger. Bit of a tricky delivery, and eventually Australia get it clear. Only just. Goal kick. So, certainly not sold. I don't know if this game has officially been marked as sold out, but there's definitely plenty of empty seats. Not plenty, but there are a handful of empty seats in the stadium tonight in Canberra. Cold night in Canberra. So, 15 minutes we're coming up to now. Australia playing out from the back. Let's see if we can get a bit of rhythm. Izzo's, that was not great. That was not great at all. Paul Izzo giving the ball away from that goal kick. I tell you what, New Zealand's, the possession stats are going to be going up and up and up for New Zealand as we clock past 15 minutes. Tarnley says, I want to see Ange get back to international football. I mean, that'd be fun as well. Yeah, I could see that. Dude, given what he did at Tottenham, I'm sure that, there's no surprise that there's plenty of interest in Ange now. He literally won a trophy. He won the Europa League. It's a fantastic achievement that will be remembered for a long time. So yeah, that would be cool. New Zealand committing plenty of numbers forward too, pinning Australia back. But look, this is what Australia did so well, especially against Japan a couple months ago. Holding them out. Really sustaining all that pressure. Two midfielders working really hard so far. Yazbek Teague, pretty quick to get onto things. Not giving the New Zealand forwards much time on the ball. Sarpreet Singh trying to find little pockets of space. That's right. That's right, Hunter. A legendary quote there from Ange Postecoglou, of course. Thanks, guys, for joining our live watch-along tonight. Socceroos in the Soccer Ashes against New Zealand. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Support the channel. Play down the right from New Zealand. Degenek there is there to clear. So, New Zealand have had a lot of the ball here and really are building nicely, but they haven't. Sarpreet Singh had that shot from long range, but aside from that, they haven't really tested Paul Izzo. Oh, down through the middle. Here's a chance for New Zealand. Oh, great save. Great save. Paul Izzo, 1-on-1. Chris Wood was away. Just like that. And Paul Izzo with the stop. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Hunter says, it seems like only a matter of time until Australia concedes to Chris Wood. Well, it almost happened there, eh? Dude, that was a great save. I mean, Chris Wood 1-on-1 with a keeper. You'd back him to score. So Paul Izzo called into action for the first time tonight, and he did very well there. That was fantastic from Izzo. Great to see him getting the chance tonight, Paul Izzo. His first start for Australia. Joe Gauci, I think a lot of us expected him to get the start, hey? Water says, good to know foreigners can catch the stream. Yeah, can people watch overseas? I'm not even sure. It's great that this game is on free-to-air for people in Australia on Channel 10 on Paramount Plus. New Zealand just having to play it out from the back. That's from Burgess. So we really like we've got it's really interesting. Like there's so many exciting attacking players that the Socceroos have now at their disposal. But it's almost like it doesn't really suit our players. The kind of formation that we play doesn't really suit those attacking players. It's such a defensive setup that Australia plays with, hey. As we're coming up to 20 minutes played, Australia haven't really had much at all in the front third, a couple front, aside from, that Geordie Boss run down the left. Valhoon says, give Izzo the Ballon d'Or right now for saving that from Wood. Dude, that top save. That was a one-on-one there with a striker coming down on goal. That was perfect from Izzo. Possession stats on the broadcast. 65% for New Zealand. 65. Just 35% possession for Australia so far. Final third entries. New Zealand have had 20. Australia have just had 6. That paints the picture for you. De Vries with a cross. Can't find a teammate. Nicely done by Hrustic and Metcalf. Very nicely done. Hrustic slowing it down. And wins the free kick. That was nicely done there. It was a little bit tricky in the middle of the park for Hrustic and Metcalf. And they were trying to drive their way forward. G'day, Nama. Welcome to the chat, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's enjoying their Friday evening. Hope you've got a fun weekend planned ahead. After 20 minutes, it is 0-0 in Canberra between Australia and New Zealand. Not many, well, aside from that Chris Wood chance, not many clear-cut chances. So really, they're just the one so far. And Australia, can they work their way into this game? It's been a lot of defending so far for Tony Popovich's side. Boss. Look at this. Dude, look at this. What a player. What a star. Oh. Well, Jordan Boss is levels ahead of his teammates right now. That was a fantastic run. And if he had scored that would have been one of the greatest Socceroos goals I've ever seen. Jordan Boss. I mean, he's capable of scoring off his right foot. He did it for Melbourne City on a few occasions in the A-League. And the way he just flew past defenders there was fantastic. And look, it's something that I've been saying for a little while now, ever since Jordan Boss really sort of made his break into the Socceroos squad. This is a guy who will be the Socceroos left back for the next decade. I'm so confident of that. He's a special, special talent, Jordan Boss. We're so lucky to have an exceptional player like him. And as I say that, he gives away possession and slips over. Woo! New Zealand back on the attack. Back in possession. G'day, Yard Star, who says New Zealand controlling this game mostly. Yep. Yes, they are. They are looking pretty comfortable at the moment, New Zealand. Knocking things around. Had that great opportunity for Chris Wood earlier. New Zealand down the right now. Tan Lees asks, so what is Popper's style? Counter-attacking? Yeah, I mean, getting the wing-backs up in those wide positions, staying wide. Getting high up the park when we are on the ball. Valhoon says this is a near full strength Kiwi team. Yeah. Oh, what's going on here? Dude, I thought New Zealand scored for a moment there. I was like glanced away from the TV for a second. Yeah, it's a very strong squad here for New Zealand, isn't it? Maybe a few players missing. No Liberato Kakache tonight for New Zealand. No Alex Paulson. There's probably maybe a couple others that are missing for New Zealand, perhaps. Yeah. Let's see if we can catch New Zealand out here as they play out from the back. Metcalf trying to win it. Now Australian possession, nicely done. Or Jordan Boss, here he comes. Here he goes again, coming infield. So here we go. Chance for Australia now to build something here in the forward half. Jordan Boss again in a little central position, but muscle lock. It's a unique design, but it's really cool. I like that they've gone for something pretty different with that cool pattern. Dude, I'm someone like I know Connor Metcalf plays for his club side St. Pauli. He often plays position, but honestly, for me, I would play Connor Metcalf in one of those central midfield roles. I think he's better as a midfielder. He did so well in that position for Melbourne City a few years back. So for me, like Connor Metcalf tonight playing as sort of one of those wide number 10s, if you like, sort of that winger position. It's not really a winger; it's more of a attacking midfielder. But for me, Connor Metcalf is more of a central midfielder for me. "25 minutes of football played, 0-0. Chris Wood with a great chance, which Paul Izzo was able to deny. Aside from that, not much going on, eh? Not much going on. Here comes Australia down the left now. Boyle. Counter attack. Looking to get Boss involved. G'day, Marcus. No worries, mates. Yes, Silvera, more so right wing back tonight in a back five. Yeah, new role for Sammy Silvera. And that's right, Marcus. Yes, Boyle at striker, Metcalf at left wing. Yep. Yeah, that's what we're seeing tonight from Australia. So it is a bit of a surprise, especially even just seeing Boyle starting at as strikers is a surprising one. That's for sure, for me at least. Very interesting call. Good play from Australia. Great play coming out from the back there. Accurate passing. Ball over the top for Boyle. And that's sort of the game plan with Martin Boyle playing as that striker. You just want to sort of get him away in behind. He's got the pace. He's not going to hold up the ball. He's not a tall striker competing for aerial duels. He's the kind of player who's just going to get him behind. So it's interesting, isn't it? Rees, Thomas, Singh, New Zealand showing promising signs. And again, like going a few times now, New Zealand, like one of their tactics is to really go for Chris Wood there, try and release the ball early, get him away and behind. And we've seen it in the English Premier League how good Chris Wood is when he gets away in on goal. He scored didn't he score a goal the other week for Nottingham Forest where he broke away past the defence and scored. He's very good in those one-on-one situations. So it was so good that Paul Izzo made that save earlier. Hey. Such an impressive stop. Hunter says, I hope we see a New Zealand debut for Luke Brooks-Smith. Would be the youngest ever all-white too. Really rated him last season when he played for Wellington. Yeah, a little bit of a breakout season for Brooks-Smith, hey. And he was playing in the Australia Cup for Wellington, so he could be set for a real big breakout season this time around for Wellington Phoenix, where he really steps up. But yeah, considering his age, man, he's still so young, a teenager, but he's an exciting player, Luke Brooks-Smith. So it's a huge opportunity for him on the bench today for New Zealand. Australia getting foot, dude. I tell you what, a few times we've noticed this now. Australia, where it feels like we're getting away on the counter attack. We're breaking away, and then it just slows down for a moment, and we go backwards. But here comes Boss this time around. Boss, gets the cross in, looking for the sneaky one, trying to find Boyle, but it's cleared away by Bindon. But I tell you what, half an hour in now, Australia have barely had any attacks, but they've all come through Jordan Boss down that left wing. Absolute star for Australia tonight, Jordan Boss. The quiet performance so far overall for the team. Alrighty. Izzo is the hero, says Water. Yep, so far he is. Tarnley says, would Sutar make it back in time for the World Cup? I'd suspect he would, yeah. Surely. That injury that he sustained was a few months ago now, wasn't it? So hopefully his recovery goes okay. Sammy Silvera is upended and comes up a little bit sore. Francis dude. Poor challenge from Francis de Vries. Oh, dude. That's a disgusting challenge from Francis de Vries. That's a really, really poor challenge from a spectacular player. Francis de Vries, best left back in the A-League last year. That was a disgusting tackle. Really could have injured Sammy Silvera, who's still down on the turf. And he's hurt, dude. I know these games are competitive. It's a friendly game, but of course it's competitive. It's a soccer ash. It's a great rivalry. But that was a revolting challenge. That was a terrible, terrible challenge there from Francis de Vries, and could have seriously injured Sammy Silvera here. So the left card, now that was interesting. They showed the replay on the broadcast there. The referee did pull out the left card. Did pull out the yellow card there for Francis de Vries, the left back, after the fact. So he did make that call in the end to book Francis de Vries. Certainly a yellow card. Water says, poor guy, I hope he's okay. Hopefully, we do not want any injuries. Friendly game. You never want any injuries, of course. Marcus asks, what do you make of Donachie to Central Coast Mariners? Dude, as a Mariners fan, I'm actually happy with the signing. I think it's a good move to sign an experienced A-League defender. I think Mariners needed it. In what is a very young squad that Central Coast Mariners have. Dude, again, they're showing the replays of this challenge. What a terrible, terrible tackle. Dude, I can't. Francis de Vries is nowhere near the ball. I'll tell you what, dude. If this was a competitive game and there's VAR, that's a potential red. That's a potential red for Francis de Vries because the studs are up. Like, he's coming in at the ankle from the side with studs up. It's forceful contact. I just can't get over that challenge from De Vries is nowhere near the ball. It's an aggressive challenge. And this has been 2-3 minutes now where Sammy Silvera's being treated on the field. He's back on his feet now, but it's concerning, isn't it? Wow. That's right, Valhoon. No, of course, no VAR in the friendlies, but it was good to see that at least the booking came out for De Vries. But again, I tell you what, if VAR was around, I think a red card would be at least in the conversation. Yeah. I don't know. I think my reaction to it comes from the fact that you don't want to see someone like Sammy Silvera pick up an injury, a talented player like that. He's back on the field and plays back underway now. But I just can't get over that challenge. I mean, what is De Vries thinking? He's seriously putting the welfare of Sammy Silvera at risk there with a challenge like that. Do not want to see that in a football game ever. So Metcalf away to the left. But again, look at this. Australia's slowing down. They get forward, a little bit of space, counter-attack, then they slow it down. Feels like we should just keep it going. Obviously, you want to get the other players in the mix, but there's a couple of occasions where we've had a promising counter-attack and just follow it through. Keep going. Valhoon says there is VAR. Is that right? Really? For a friendly? That would surprise me. 35 minutes of football. It is 0-0 between Australia and New Zealand. Not too many clear-cut chances. Just Chris Wood with a great opportunity earlier. Poor giveaway, Yazbek, but Chikati does well to retain possession. Marcus asks any Balotelli or Costa updates. I don't think we've seen anything from regarding those guys yet. No, I don't think we've seen anything lately. So we'll see. Ristich, nice little run here. Bit of space too. Gets it to Boss on the left. He crosses, but what's the plan there? We're crossing into Martin Boyle, who's like a fantastic player, but his strength isn't aerial duels. So the cross from Geordie Boss comfortably into the hands of Max Crocombe. But what's the plan there going forward in attack? That's an opportunity for someone like, Mohamed Toure or Noah Botic, a recognised striker who can compete in aerial duels. That's not going to... Surely that can't be the plan for Australia, getting it to those wide positions and playing in a cross, looking for a head. I'm not sure what the thinking is there. So, less than 10 minutes before half-time. Of course, we'll have some extra minutes added on for that injury break a moment ago. Marcus asks, fixtures set to be out next week. Does that mean we get the West United verdict? Well, we're meant to. We're meant to, Marcus. I believe it's crazy that it's drawn on this long. Hey, it's incredible that it's drawn on this long. I think they said that, we're meant to get a decision, I think, this past Tuesday. But then the verdict from that was that it was been, great chance for New Zealand, straight to the hands of Izzo. The verdict from this past Thursday is that they said they pushed it back to the next Thursday. Sorry, Tuesday. I mean to say Tuesday. So we may well hear something regarding West United on Tuesday. And then hopefully we get the fixtures. But yeah, like they've said the fixtures are coming out. They have to come out. They said, I think, was it last week or the week before? They're like, the fixtures are going to come out in the next 2 weeks. They cannot afford to keep pushing it back. It's ridiculous what's been going on here. Look, I want West United to survive. I want them to stick around, of course. We don't want them to have to fold. So hopefully they do survive and the appeal is successful. But ultimately, it's ridiculous how long this has gone on. And the fact that we don't have fixtures yet is just an outrage. So it's been an absolute mess, isn't it? So the fixtures have to come out next week. Hunter says rumours of Australia Cup being held in Lakeside Stadium, home of South Melbourne. Apparently, announcement will be at 9 a.m. Interesting, Hunter. Where did you see that? As John says, the plan is very mysterious. Yeah, for the Socceroos. Yeah. It is an interesting one. And I tell you what, with the way Australia's going, like defensively, we've been good. Pretty comfortable at the back, mostly. But going forward, we need more. And that's where the likes of Nestor Nkunda, Adrian Segicic, Toure, I tell you what, I would get those guys in the mix in the second half. I assume you're asking what date for the Australia Cup final? I believe it has been confirmed for October 4, hey? Saturday, October 4 is the Australia Cup final. But yeah, we are surely going to hear soon. I think they said by September 5, by tomorrow, we're going to get an announcement in regards to the venue. So who will host, Heidelberg United or Newcastle Jets? What stadium will it be at? And no doubt we'll do a live watch along for the Australia Cup final as well in a few weeks' time. Boyle, Tarnley says Boyle better as a second striker in the front two. Yeah, like that would work better. If he was playing alongside Toure or even like someone like Mitch Duke or something, like I could see that. But obviously Australia don't play with the front two. So yeah, this surely Tony Popovich is looking at this setup now with Martin Ball playing a striker, and it's no threat at all right now. And again, I want to clarify, that's nothing against Martin Ball. He's an exceptional player. He's made a great start to this season for Hibs. Great season last time around for Hibs. But he's not a striker, really. He's a winger. That's where he's best utilised for Australia. So we are having Australia have got no threat right now with Martin Ball playing as central striker. Got to shift him out to the wing. Got to get Toure on. Got to get Toure on. Rustich and Metcalf have worked hard, dude. They have. I wouldn't mind seeing one of those guys shift into maybe the middle in midfield. John highlights that Amy Parker is unavailable on the date of the final. Yes, indeed. So, yeah. As Hunter said, I mean, maybe it could be Lakeside Stadium. So, the remaining minutes of this first half. Australia 0, New Zealand 0. Really no clear-cut chances for Australia in this first half. We're going to need something different in attack. Defensively pretty strong. New Zealand have had a lot of the ball and have looked good. They've knocked the ball around really well, New Zealand, but they haven't really, I mean, aside from that Chris Wood chance, they haven't really been able to break through. Burgess tries to clear up the line, sail straight out of play. So, look, this has been a pretty, defensively okay, but this is the verdict, I think, is that this has been a pretty poor half from Australia. I think Tony Popovich, I mean, especially because this is a friendly game, I don't think you should be afraid to make some changes at half time here. I think we could see a couple changes at the break. Because Australia aren't really competing at this stage in the game. Paul Izzo just has to hack it clear. New Zealand are applying pressure. Oh, here's a bit of space. Rustich. Oh, Boyle should have left it for Boss. Geordie Boss was flying away down the left. Martin Boyle picks it up instead. Rustich. There's not enough going forward. There's not enough options. Metcalf with the shots. Ooh, okay. Well, we've got another shot there for Australia. Metcalf on target. Crocombe was well behind it, though. Decent power behind that shot from Connor Metcalf, but comfortable save for a good keeper and Max Crocombe. But, hey, another chance here for Australia. We'll take it. We'll take it. What it says, I was at Avondale v Brisbane City. Going to new clubs interstate is fun. I will go to the Oz Cup for sure. Love it. Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what. hopefully, wherever it is, the Australia Cup final, hopefully it is a sellout crowd. Balhoun asks, Nesri on at halftime? Dude, I think I would do it, honestly. Like, him or, dude, honestly, even Segicic. You need someone with a bit more pace. Like, again, like going back to what I was saying earlier about Metcalf, love Connor Metcalf. For me, he's more of a central midfielder. I just think he's better utilised in that position. He's not the kind of guy who has, all that much pace. Like he's got pace, but he's not. Nesiri and Kunda are surely faster than Connor Metcalf. I think I would make that sort of change. Maybe shift Connor Metcalf into midfield and bring Aaron Kunda on to play on left wing. That's just me. Leo Senna, I can see your comment there about Sydney. I'll read that in just a moment. Half time is just around the corner. As New Zealand again controlling things as they have done for much of this game so far. Lesan 23 says if Murray Balotelli joins Sydney and Costa stays, we will have a great squad and expecting a good season. But replacement for Leo Center would be good. Don't trust Holman. Camijo is decent. Yeah. With Leo Center's departure, it would be good for Sydney to bring in another defensive midfielder. That's for sure. So another long ball for Wood there that he teed it up for a teammate. The shot was saved away by Izzo. Another good save there from Paul Izzo down to his right. I mean, in terms of Australia, that was a great save, in fact, from Izzo. So corner here for New Zealand. Izzo's probably been one of Australia's best players in the game so far. Geordie Bosses, I think, has probably been Australia's best player so far. He's been great on that left side, but Paul Izzo with that one-on-one save and then that save down to his right there. He's made a great debut so far. Now, what's going on here? The referee's just halting things. Is there a VAR check? Valhoon mentioned it earlier that there was VAR in this game. I'm surprised, dude. Are they just checking maybe a potential handball or something? Replay. Oh, maybe did it flick off the arm of Hrustic? Dude, do they actually have VAR for a friendly? I'm really surprised by that. I didn't know that VAR. Anyway, play on. Valhoon says Wood is going to have nightmares about Izzo. Indeed. Izzo has been winning the duel so far. Tim Payne on the left, crossing. Misses everyone. New Zealand just lacking a little bit of quality in the final third. They've been good tonight so far, New Zealand, but on a few occasions it's just slipped them by. So 2 minutes added on here. Probably should have been more, really. Silvera was down for a while. 2 minutes added on. It's great that Sammy Silvera is back and up and running in the game after that injury earlier. Stick around at half-time. We'll be jumping into the live chat if you guys have any questions or anything. Socceroos, Matildas, A-Leagues. A lot going on in this A-Leagues off-season, of course, as there always is. If you've got any questions or anything, feel free to throw them in the live chat. So, a very fascinating half of football, which comes to a close here, half-time. It's 0-0. And you got to say, a pretty average half from Australia. Pretty poor. Defensively, organisation looking pretty good as usual with this Tony Popovic Socceroos side. Not too much space at the back. Chris Wood with a great chance, though. He did get him behind on that one occasion, and Paul Izzo had to make a crucial save. As they're showing us on the broadcast, the players are walking off here. Alessandro Ciccati and Cameron Burgess in passionate conversation about seemingly some tactical stuff. I mean, you want to see that. You want to see that, players maintaining the standards with each other. Keep on pushing each other. But Burgess was having a pretty strong word there to his defensive teammate, Ciccati. So, Adstar says New Zealand, we're on top for that half. Absolutely. Adstar also says Izzo has done well. Yeah. Couple great saves there from Izzo. I mean, that one-on-one with Chris Wood, that was fabulous. That was perfect goalkeeping from Izzo. It looked like Wood was surely going to score there. And again, we know Chris Wood is so good in those situations where he is going one-on-one with the keeper. It's a terrifying situation, so that's huge. Especially, like, and it's saved later, but especially this performance from Paul Izzo so far, really important. Because especially for a goalkeeper, it's rare you get an opportunity like this. But as we know, no Matt Ryan for this camp. And, I mean, we expected to see Joe Gauci start, but Izzo gets his debut tonight. Great moment for him, personally, of course. But with a strong performance, if you can back it up in the second half, maintain a clean sheet, that's huge for Paul Izzo, man. It's huge for Paul Izzo. And maybe he could sort of step up as the next in line for the Socceroos for the goalkeeper position there. Valhoon says, decent crowd in Canberra too. Just get him in the A-League, says Valhoon. Yes. Got them in the A-League women's competition. We'd love to see a men's team in Canberra there. An A-League men's team in Canberra. It's been something that has been spoken about for many years now, really. And we all want it. And I've said it for a long time. The next expansion site has to be Canberra. Hopefully we have all the A-League teams of men's and women's teams, you know. We're still yet to get a women's team from Auckland. I think they said that's coming in a couple of years' time. Still yet to get a women's A-League team from MacArthur as well. So, yeah, got to get a men's team for Canberra, man. That'd be great. Water spotted that as well. Chicardi and Burgess having a passionate chat walking off the pitch. Adstar says it'll be interesting to see how much possession each side had. Yeah, hey, let's have a look now, hey. I'm going to have a quick check of FOTMob, see what the stats are saying there. So according to FOTMob, New Zealand, 57% possession. Australia, 43%. Felt like it probably was more for New Zealand, honestly. Felt like a lot for them. The shots, 5 shots for New Zealand, 2 of those on target. Paul Izzo with a couple great saves. Australia had 2 shots, just the 1 on target, and that 1 shot on target came from Connor Metcalf at the end there from long range. So, can Australia create more in the second half? We need more. All right, Hunter says need Toure and Irankunda on the field, in my opinion. Maybe have a triple change with Sekacic coming in too. I mean, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be exciting. Adstar says, quite crowd in Canberra, but that is understandable. The Aussies have given them nothing to get excited about. Yeah, those Geordie Boss runs down the left early on were exciting, but aside from that, again, something that we saw regularly in that half of football was Australia getting forward and then like on the counter-attack, and then we'd slow it down. So that's clearly the plan. That's clearly part of the game plan. It's happened on numerous occasions. We get forward and you think, okay, yeah, keep the counter-attack going. And then, you know, whoever's on the board just holds it up, just slows it down and gets, which is obviously a good move to make from time to time. You want to maintain possession, get your teammates up and around the ball. But it felt like a couple times that, you know, if we just kept going there, we would have had a great opportunity to score. Yeah. Marcus here asks, what do you think will happen to Western United? The fact that they keep delaying seems good. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I feel that way. Like, if they keep delaying, it seems good. I don't know about that. I think they're just really biding their time to try and, I don't know, get investment or something, get something over the line. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I don't think they're going to survive, unfortunately. That's just what it feels like. This has been going on for like almost a month now, and it just feels inevitable that they're gone, man. You know, their license has already been taken. They're fighting so hard to keep it. They're fighting so hard to survive. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a real surprise if they do stick around, which is a shame. I want them to stick around, man. I want West United to survive. I want them in the A-League again this year. Yeah. Water here in the live chat says, I was surprised to see only one team from WA, Queensland, South Australia in the Australian Championship. Are there no viable sides in Northern Territory? No Northern Territory NPL team in the comp this year. Yes, and hopefully, dude, in regards to the Australian Championship, hopefully it does become a situation where there's more teams involved from different states, and we get that. Yeah, we get teams from all over the country. But of course, yeah, it's just the premiers going through from WA and, well, from all the states, of course. But yeah, no Northern Territory teams haven't been included, have they? Hunt says Canberra and Christchurch, I feel, would be the two best places to add into the A-League. And maybe not Christchurch because they're not in the AFC, so pop a team back in Gold Coast or Tasmania. Yeah, hey, Christchurch would be interesting. And I'll tell you what, probably because of the success of Auckland FC, I wonder if the APL would maybe be interested in going for another team in New Zealand. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I think you get Canberra in next, and then it has to be another team in Queensland. That just has to be another good team in Queensland, man. It's a fantastic state. It's a big state, huge population, and you got some fantastic locations around the state where you could have an A-League team, whether it's Gold Coast, North Queensland, Sunshine Coast. We know Sunshine Coast pulled a big crowd for that pre-season friendly between Brisbane Roar and Mariners a few weeks back. Get a second team in Queensland, man. Yeah, it makes the most sense. I know a lot of people say like Wollongong, but we've got 5 teams in New South Wales. We don't need another New South Wales team for a while, I don't think. So the fact that we've got 5 teams in New South Wales and 1 in Brisbane just feels like we need at least 2. It feels like we need at least 2 in Queensland, I should say. Yeah. All right. Time to top up the drink. Top up your beverages. Get your snacks. The second half is around the corner. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Hey, that's Shane Smeltz on the broadcast. Archie Thompson, Shane Smeltz there alongside Tara Rushton. Let's talk substitutes. Let's talk who can make an impact in this game. So, let's highlight some of the substitutes. First of all, the attacking players that we could see feature for Australia. Mo Toure. Mohamed Toure. We need him. We need him. He has to come on a halftime, surely. Martin Ball. Top player, but he's more of a winger. Got to get Toure on the field in the second half. Aaron Kunda, Milanovic could play in one of those attacking midfield positions. Same could be said for Adrian Segicic. Keep an eye on those guys. So those are the real attacking options for Australia in regards to like those front 3 positions, really. O'Neill, Ballard could come on in midfield. And then we've got a bunch of defenders on the bench as well. Iredale, Matthews, Rolls, and Miller. So I think maybe Aaron Kunda. I think if you look at any of those, Aaron Kunda, Segicic, Milanovic, I feel like we might see Aaron Kunda soon. Water wants to see Aaron Kunda. Tarnley wants to see Ballard. Hopefully Max Ballard makes his debut finally. He deserves it. It's great to see Ballard back in the squad again. A guy who's been playing regularly over in the Netherlands for the last year now. Yeah. Marcus, a bit earlier, asked if Western United... what's the question here? Could you see another team fold at all? Doesn't need to be near the future. Oh, I assume you're asking there, Marcus. So if Western United folds, could you see another team fold at all? Another team fold? Like, I mean, hopefully not. That's the thing. Like, it's... Yeah, like, we want to be in a position... This can't keep happening. Teams folding in the A-League. It's just... And, like, people sort of, like, make those... Have a lot of people have their opinions about A-League expansion and especially about, for example, MacArthur and Western and whether they should have been brought into the competition in the first place. But ultimately, for the health of the A-League and for football in Australia, we can't have teams folding. It's just not a good look, obviously. So, could I see another team fold? I don't think so. I think we'll be all right. Look, as we know, the A-League's going through a tough time in recent years. Financially, reportedly, it's been pretty tough for teams. So hopefully we can overcome that. Hopefully this is just a tricky phase and we do sort of push on from that. Second half, moments away, folks. 0-0 between Australia and New Zealand. Hunter says Canberra, Wollongong, Gold Coast, Tasmania would be the best way to get a 16-team comp. If West United does die, it's sad, man. Hopefully they do survive. Yeah, Canberra, Wollongong, Gold Coast, Tasmania. I'd be happy for all those. I'd be happy for all those. I think that, I would go in, and if I had to pick an order, I would go Canberra, Gold Coast, then Tasmania. I think that'd be fun, and then add another team from New South Wales. So then you're looking at, only then you're looking at Wollongong. But again, I think the fact that we have there's 5 teams in New South Wales. I think we don't need any more anytime soon. I mean, having said that, I wonder if the A-League should consider, if West United do fold, maybe in the future going for another team in Victoria as well. Yeah. Maybe we do go for another team in Victoria. Maybe Geelong. Like, I like what Western United are trying to do, sort of, obviously uniting the west of Melbourne and the west of Victoria. I guess that sort of their reach sort of includes Geelong and out to Ballarat. So, yeah. What changes will we see at the halftime break, if any? I mean, hopefully we do. I'm sure Tony Popovich is looking at how that second half went, and, playing Martin Ball as a striker just clearly wasn't working there. Clearly wasn't working. So we'll keep an eye on it. Bit of football going on tonight. Preliminary final between Heidelberg United and Preston Lions happening right now in NPL Victoria. Looks like Heidelberg United with a 2-goal lead there. Okay. John says I would have another team in WA or SA before New South Wales. Yeah, I'd be keen for that too. Yeah, that'd be fun. Get some more derby matches in the A-League. The derby matches are always a big part of the A-League, so yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be keen for that. Hunter says both West United and MacArthur have proven that they were worthy of being in the league, both having won silverware in their short life. Yeah, dude, I mean, we shouldn't forget that MacArthur FC have featured, they're coming up to featuring in 2 Asian Champions League 2 competitions, right? So they're featuring in Asian football again this coming season. And they've won 2 Australia Cups. Like, for a team that young, they've had more success. They've won more trophies than Wellington Phoenix, at least in the A-League era when it comes to Perth Glory as well. So yeah. Balhoun says bring back the Fury. Marcus asks what A-League team needs Tom Glover. Yeah, interesting question. You thinking about which, as the teams come back onto the field now, which A-League teams need a goalkeeper? I'm just trying to think, man. Which team would need like a quality keeper? I'm just trying to think. I think everyone's pretty solid when it comes to goalkeeper positions. I don't know if anyone in the A-League would need another goalkeeper. I mean, maybe Melbourne Victory. I mean, Jack Duncan's obviously a solid option. But with Mitch Langerak retiring, maybe, but wouldn't that be... Dude, I just realised that's probably, for obvious reasons, that might not work out all that well. Anyway, Adstar says, I think Perth and Adelaide are good-sized cities for one team each, so I do not think there is enough support for 2 teams. Yeah, maybe in the future. Okay, maybe in like another 10 years or so. I don't know. Yeah. Raw, Valhoun says Raw for Tom Glover. Yeah, they've got Dean Bazanis signed there. Yeah. G'day, Ethan. Ethan says, I'm happy from our performance as a New Zealander. No surprise, Ethan. It's been a decent half. Here come the changes for Australia. Are they attacking changes? No, they're not. But that's okay. Lewis Miller is on, as is Aidan O'Neill. Interesting. We'll see who's come off in a second. But Australia have made a double change. Aidan O'Neill and Lewis Miller on. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Sammy Silvera is one of the players coming off, as the second half is now underway. John says I would take him at Perth Glory. We just sold Ollie Sale. Yeah, true. Of course, Perth Glory recently signed Mark Berry-Gitty as well. Hadstar says Queensland should be able to support another team. Yeah, I think they need another team. So, let's have a look at these changes. It looks like Silvera is off. Lewis Miller on in his usual right wing-back role for the Socceroos. So, Miller's on. And it looks like it's Yazbek who's off in midfield. So, Aidan O'Neill on. Long flight over for all these guys, of course, but Aidan O'Neill, Patrick Yazbek flying all the way over from North America. New Zealand back in the attack once again. Continuing in the same fashion that how they were going in the first half. Cross is good. Ooh, little push. Tell you what, Chris Wood was up for that. Honestly, even from a Socceroos fan myself, that looked like a bit of a push from Chikati there on Wood. Yeah. Warder says, I really like Miller. He's solid and fast. Yep. Ever since I saw him at Central Coast Mariners. Top player, isn't he? Lewis Miller. He's developed so well over the years and still a young player with enormous potential, Lewis Miller. And really feels like that he's the first choice at that right wing-back role for Australia these days. So there's two changes at the halftime break there, in case you missed it. Lewis Miller on for Sammy Silvera, and Aidan O'Neill is on for Patrick Yazbek in midfield. So no attacking changes just yet. It's a shame that we didn't really get to see much of Silvera in that first half. Yeah, Australia having to do a lot of defending, so he was just sort of sitting back with the other defenders quite a lot. Silvera not really that much involved. A couple nice little passing moves down that right-hand side he was involved in, but we didn't really get to see much from Silvera. We need more from Australia in this second half, that's for sure. We need more. We get to see the team get on the ball and start to look a bit more threatening going forward, because it makes sense if we're playing this way against Japan. Look, no disrespect to New Zealand, and they do have a good team, dude. But, of course, we're going to play in defensive fashion against a quality team like Japan a couple months ago like we did. But against New Zealand, a team that we, probably favourites coming up against here. Again, no disrespect to New Zealand, but Australia should be having more control in this game and should be creating more chances, and we're not seeing that. So there's, I'm not freaking out. This is no time to panic. It's not alarm bells. But ultimately, we do need to see a bit of improvement here from Australia. There is room for improvement. Oh, here's a good chance for New Zealand. Chris Wood decided to lay it back. Cross comes in, away by Burgess. Sarpreet Singh's been good. That attacking midfield role for New Zealand. They've been looking good, New Zealand. They've been playing well, and they'll be disappointed that they haven't got a goal as of yet. Lewis Miller needs to play the whistle there. Thought the ball went out of play. Still in. Dude, this is a real wrestle for Australia. We're not having a lot of joy. It's been a real tight contest. Good play from New Zealand. Chikati's there to cover. Chikati's been good tonight. Australia doing a lot of defending. Alessandro Chikati's been on the end of things tonight. Again, like we're talking about these exciting young players we have. I was talking a lot about Jordan Boss in that first half, but Alessandro Giacatti, he could be a real star centre back for the next decade for Australia. What a player! Next decade and even more. He's still so young, Alessandro Giacatti, but he's playing at a top level in the top flight in Italy, which is just awesome. Metcalf, bit of space. Jordan Boss down the left. Here's a chance for Australia. Boyle is central. He wanted it in front of him. Metcalf, Boss, Geordie Boss, just running out of room. Like, we're not looking convincing in attack at all. Like, what's the plan when we get forward? There's no apparent sort of plan or vision or strategy for when we get forward. It's just coming unstuck so easily for Australia. The New Zealand defenders are having the cruisiest game ever, dude. They are so chill at the back tonight. Because Australia are proving no threat when they go forward with the ball. Let's see what we do here. Geordie Boss. Playing it safe, going and back. We're getting the players forward, but I need to see a bit of adventure, a bit of risk. Miller. Again, going backwards. A lot of backwards passes tonight for Australia. Taking our time in attack. Hunter, a moment ago, said Joseph Esposito, Brisbane Roar's head of PR and communications, predicts that within 18 months, Geordie Boss is in the Prem. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I think him. There's probably a few others who're probably in the mix. I think Adrian Sagic is on the trajectory for Premier League football. But Jordan Boss, I mean, did well over in Belgium. Now stepping over to the Eredivisie, there's a good league there in the Netherlands, competitive league. Feyenoord too, good club. Yeah, there's a serious chance that he's a Premier League footballer in the near future. Wouldn't be surprised about that. Waters says it's amazing to see him in that photo with Buffon and the other teammate. I assume you're talking about Giacatti, who, of course, yeah, has played alongside Buffon, of course, hasn't he? Foul, free kick for Australia. We've won a lot of like little free kicks around the middle of the field in our defensive half. Here we go, moving a little bit quicker this time, maybe down the right. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's just see what happens here. Giacatti with a long ball, easily cut off by Boxall, and Hrustic can't maintain possession. Like, it just feels a bit random going forward. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm not able to see it, but there doesn't appear to be much strategy going forward today for Australia, unfortunately. Clearly needs something different or a tweak in the shape or personnel, because this is the attacking three just aren't quite working. This combination. Look, they're all good players. Hrustic, Metcalf, Boyle, but it's not the right combination. I think we're missing a Nesri or Nkunda or a, well, for me, Mohamed Toure has to come on. For me, he's the missing link. I think you bring Toure on for either Hrustic or Metcalf and shift Boyle out to the wing. As McCowett fires wide with the shots, corner, deflection. But you bring Toure on and it completely changes the setup of that attack. You've got a recognised striker and you've got Boyle, whether it's Boyle, Metcalf or Hrustic can play off him. So that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just looking at it a bit too simplistically, but that's me. D Living says, I'm in the stadium. Wow. How's the vibe, mate? Looks like a chilly night in Canberra. Thanks for jumping in the live chat, though. Appreciate it. So De Vries's corner. Delivery's good, man, but that's a good defensive header from Burgess, who, again, has been good tonight as well. So, defensively, again, Socceroos looking okay. Like, I don't think we've got any concerns about the back line, especially with Harry Sutar to come back from injury. Like, the defensive ranks are looking really strong at the moment for Australia. Chikati's stepping up. Like, it's looking very good. Metcalf, Teague. Oh, it's come through here. Boyle, great chance for Australia. Martin Boyle. Oh, he slipped. He slipped. Wow, that was a golden chance. And that's the chance for Martin Boyle. He's not looking for these headers in the box. He's looking to get in behind. The ball from Ryan Teague should have been cut off, but Martin Boyle was away, but slipped at a crucial moment. And that's what we need to get. We need to get Martin Boyle in those positions. If he's playing as a central striker, got to get him in those situations where he can break away one-on-one with the keeper. Because he's fast, isn't he? He's a speedy player, Martin Boyle. But so is Mohamed Toure. Get him on the field now. Get Toure on the field. Now, I believe Toure was out briefly with injury, wasn't he? He missed a game for Randers the other day, but then returned last weekend, I think. So maybe there's a question mark in regards to whether Toure's fully fit. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Maybe that's why he's not that involved. Well, here's a chance from that set piece. Michael Boxall getting in a dangerous position. It's going to be another corner here for New Zealand, who are piling on the pressure once again. Did look like a handball too in there, maybe. Dude, I'll tell you what, that was a good save from Izzo. He actually came out and needed to make the block. And this is corner number 5 for New Zealand. Corner number 5. They work it short this time. Something different from New Zealand. Long ball. Still they go, New Zealand. De Vries gets it wide. Oh, here we go. Australia, counter-attack. Maybe. Metcalf just loses it. Not quite having the best game tonight, Connor Metcalf. Working hard, but it's just unfortunately coming unstuck a little bit too easily for him tonight. Appreciate you guys joining us for this live watch along tonight. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Hunter asks, are any of the front three playing in their natural positions? I know Boyle's more of a winger. Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like Hrustic and Metcalf are more than capable of playing these positions. I feel like Hrustic is definitely suited to this position, playing this sort of attacking role off that right side. I think that really suits Hrustic. Metcalf can certainly play this role. He's played here for Australia before. Personally, I think Metcalf operates better as a central midfielder. But Boyle, for me, is definitely out of position. Heavy collision there between Tim Payne and Jordan Boss, who would have faced off in the A-League a couple of years ago. Tim Payne's still in the A-League with Wellington Phoenix, a regular at right back for Wellington, and he's currently receiving some treatment. Phoenix will be hoping that this isn't anything serious for Tim Payne. Good shot on the broadcast of the crowd in Canberra. Chilly night. Strong crowd. Doesn't look like the stadium's full, but there is a strong number of fans in attendance, which is good to see. Oh, there's some of the subs on the bench on the broadcast. Nestor Nkunda. That's interesting. Now, I don't know. So they just showed on the broadcast Nkunda sitting on the bench, just chilling out. Mo Toure was sitting on the bench too. And then they cut to Adrian Segacic, who was actively warming up. I don't know whether maybe Segacic has been called over to warm up, or maybe they're just, half the substitutes are maybe warming up at one time and then the other half are warm up later. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's a hint that Segacic is going to come on soon. Maybe. We've played an hour of football in Canberra. It's still 0-0. New Zealand have been in control for much of this game. Australia trying to wrestle back some control. But just haven't had enough quality in attack tonight. Again on the broadcast, they're showing those subs. Nestor Nkunda on the cameras. All eyes on Nestor. So exciting seeing how Nestor Nkunda has made a great start to life at Watford. 2 stunning free kicks already for Watford. What a player. And hey, if he gets on the field and if Australia get a free kick, surely Nestor's the one stepping up. I know we've got a great free kick taker in Aiden Brustich, left foot. But Nkunda, surely you'd give him the chance, hey? As Valhoon says, come on, Papa, bring him on. Water says, bring on Nkunda and Toure. Well, and we've passed the hour. Well, New Zealand are preparing some changes as we speak. So surely the changes aren't too far away for Australia. But again, it may be a situation where I feel like we might get a situation where the second game sees a very different starting 11 for Australia. So, double change for New Zealand. Callan Elliott and Costa Barbarouses is coming on. Chris Wood is coming off. So, after an hour of football, Chris Wood is being substituted off. Captain's armband goes to Michael Boxall. So, 2 very different strikers. Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest coming off for Costa Barbarouses of Western Sydney Wanderers. Callan Elliott, reliable right back of Auckland FC, replacing Wellington Phoenix right back Tim Payne for New Zealand as well. So there we go. Couple moves there for New Zealand. But Costa Barbarouses, it's again completely different challenge here for the Australian defence. Costa Barbarouses is a different kind of player. And they're going to make another change here as well. Ryan Thomas coming off for New Zealand. And Alex Rufer, Wellington Phoenix captain, is going to enter the game. Very reliable defensive midfielder, Alex Rufer. New Zealand playing this 4-2-3-1 shape, which has proved tricky for Australia at times tonight. Costa Barbarouses is going to do a lot of work to close down those defenders for Australia when they're on the ball. That's for sure. All right, here we go. So we're in the final half an hour. We need to see Australia step up another gear, that's for sure. Who wins the Oz Cup final, asks Marcus. Honestly, I think Heidelberg are favourites. Especially if they get to host it, I think Heidelberg are favourites. Newcastle Jets have impressed me a lot in this Australia Cup run, but I think Heidelberg will be favourites. They've just, the way that they've defeated those 3 A-League opponents, you'd back them to do it again. They've been incredible. Water says Heidelberg for the win. Hunter says Chris Wood off for Costa Barbarouses is surprising to me. Yeah, it is. It is. Probably didn't expect to see Chris Wood come off that early. G'day, Pseudo, who's says, come on, All Whites. Well, all eyes on the sidelines now, I think, for Australia to see whether we make some attacking changes to try something different in the final third. You just wonder why Tony Popovic is waiting so long now. It's obvious to everyone that it's clearly not working for Australia. We've got no threat going forward. You cannot say that it has worked in attack for Australia. So I'm not sure why Tony Popovic is persevering with this. Because going forward, this isn't going to be the attack. In a competitive game for Australia, you're not going to start these three players together. It's just not going to work. In this current setup, all great players, again, want to reiterate, Hristich, Boyle, Metcalf, great players, but it's not working together at the moment in their current positions. That's right, Hunter, who says Heidelberg have had 270 plus minutes without conceding to A-League opposition. Very impressive. Dude, it's incredible. Their defense is just insane. Fantastic. Australia pinned back quite deep once again here. Well, it worked against Japan. We did a lot of defending and then scored right at the end. So maybe it's a bit of the same idea here for Australia. But, yeah. Shots at goal in the second half. It starts on the broadcast. New Zealand have had 2 shots at goal. Now, that doesn't include shots on target. That's not shots on target. It's just shots in general at goal. New Zealand have had 2. Australia are yet to register a shot in the second half. The second half has been going for over 20 minutes. Australia are yet to register a shot in the second half. And we had, 2 shots in the first half. So this has been one of the most poorest attacking performances from Australia under Tony Popovic so far. Again, defensively comfortable, but it's just glaringly obvious that this attack just is so subpar. And Tony Popovic was inclined to make a couple changes at half time, but instead of tweaking the attack, he changed our right wing back and a central midfielder. That's not going to fix things. We're in the 68th minute now. You've got some incredibly talented attacking players on the bench. Bring them on. Allow them to make an impact in this game. Allow them to influence this game. That's why they're there. And that's what these games are for. To give those players the opportunity. This is the platform for them. Don't give Nestori or Nkunda 5 minutes at the end of the game. Allow them to influence this contest. They will change the game. They will. And it's times like this where we're really just curious to see what Tony Popovic does. Again, what a fantastic job he has done with this team. He's been fantastic with what he's done with the squad. He's implemented his system. Nestor Nkunda is currently warming up on the sidelines. As Francis de Vries is down hurt. But this is an interesting time here for Tony Popovic. Because it's not good enough going forward. Pseudo says, thoughts on Libby Kakachi not being in the squad? Yeah, was he had an injury or something, right? It was something about that. Didn't he pick up a slight injury? I think that's what I remember reading. It's a big loss for New Zealand. He's obviously a top player. John says, I was in attendance for Australia versus Japan, and it was not a great game to watch, but it was a great atmosphere and results. Absolutely, John. I mean, that moment at the end for the Socceroos fans was magical, I'm sure, in the stadium. So, very interesting one here. Oh, dude, they're showing the replay here of this moment for left back Francis de Vries for New Zealand, where he just, it was a bit of an awkward one. His knee sort of buckled in a weird way. New Zealand will make another change. It's not Francis de Vries coming off. In fact, it will be Francis de Vries coming off because it's a double change. Elijah Just is coming off and Francis de Vries coming off. So that left side for New Zealand is going to have a double change. James McGarry is on. Brisbane Roar fullback, recently signing with Brisbane Roar. He's back in the A-League after a stint over in Europe. He's on to replace De Vries, and Ben Old is coming on to replace Elijah Just from that left wing, former Wellington Phoenix player, Ben Old. Top player. What a star. Tan Lee says, if only Ange is coaching Australia with this generation of players. Says we need some positive attacking football. I mean, that would be fun to, like, the Ange Postecoglou system, which is like a 4-3-3, right? That'd be cool to see. That would be fun to see with some of the players that we have. Hey, with this current group of players, I think would be really fun. Oh, here we go. The changes are coming on, man. The players are getting ready. And we're going to get a debut for Nicholas Milanovic. Nestor Irankunda is set to come on. And Mohamed Toure. Tony Popovic must have been tuning into the live watch along because he's about to make a triple attacking change here. Meanwhile, Australia win another free kick in their own half. Rufa on O'Neill. Big moment coming up here for Australia. Water spotted as well, says Irankunda and Toure coming on. No Segacic, says Marquez, question marks. But yeah, it looked like to me that Milanovic was also receiving instruction. So that might be just that front three completely changing, or whether we see just a change of shape. But I reckon that whole front three is changing. I reckon Roostich, Metcalf, Boyle coming off. They've worked hard, but it's not been enough going forward, man. They haven't clicked going forward in attack. So for the final 15 plus minutes, again, it just sucks that they're not being given more of an opportunity. That surely they should have come on at maybe at least the hour mark. I mean, at the 60th minute, they should have come on. Throw in here. Will we get the changes now? Not yet, maybe. Oh, here we go. Yep. Making his debut for Australia here, Nicholas Milanovic, wearing number 7, is coming on. The Johnny Warren medal winner this past A-League men's season. What a star. Making his move over to Aberdeen in Scotland. He is making his first appearance for the Socceroos. What a night here for Milanovic. Mo Toure is on for Martin Boyle. Toure. Is he the next star striker for Australia? And Nestori Irankunda is on, replacing Metcalf on the left wing. So that is what we wanted to see, folks. Toure through the middle. It's Irankunda off the left. And we'll see Milanovic play in his usual right wing position. Here we go. This is going to completely change the dynamic in attack for Australia. It's a change that's coming way, way too late, in my opinion. Why wait? That's the question for Tony Popovic. Why wait to make that change? Australia have had 2 shots in 74 minutes. Why wait to change the attack? Use these games. Utilize these matches to make these changes. New Zealand, well, they're making... Dude, is this their final substitution window already? Now, this is interesting. Finn Sermon, centre-back, is on for Singh. That is very interesting here. New Zealand making a defensive change. Wow. As John says here, Milanovic and Irankunda flew from the other side of the world to play for 15 minutes. Yeah, well, and hopefully they get some minutes in game 2, at least. Yeah, we'll see. Water asks, what club does Toure play for? Toure plays for Randers in Denmark, and Milanovic plays for Aberdeen in Scotland. Shots, stats on the broadcast. 7 shots tonight for New Zealand. Again, just the 2 shots for Australia. Just not good at all. Not good at all. So, 75 minutes of football played in Canberra. Australia 0, New Zealand 0. Need to get our attacking players on the ball now. Needs to allow opportunities for these guys, man. You're in Coindo on the left wing. Again, I say left wing, but they're more like number 10s, really, with the system that we play. Attacking midfielders, playing a bit more centrally, but they do love to stay to get in those wide positions. Aaron Coindo with a flicked header. Boxall's able to clear. Teague in midfield. Ryan Teague. 75 minutes of football tonight. Solid shift from the midfielder who's had limited game time in Belgium so far this season. Deserves the move to Europe, though, after some great seasons with Melbourne Victory. Burgess, his passes offline. I mean, you know what I just realised? I think the concern now is that I don't think we'll see Adrian Segacic come on. You know, we've made those 3 attacking changes. I don't think we'll see Segacic come on tonight, folks. Milanovic on the right. Here we go. Miller just comes unstuck. Final third entries. Australia have had 37. New Zealand have had 61, according to the broadcast. Just 6 crosses for Australia, 16 for New Zealand. Touches in the opponent box, 13 for New Zealand, just 4. How about that? Australia have had 4 touches in the opposition penalty area. 4! We're almost at the end of the game. Here comes Geordie Boss. Great run down the left. Geordie Boss. Too fast, too strong for Callan Elliott. Aaron Coindo on the ball. Ooh. Oh, he's got the free kick. Aaron Coindo tripped up. Now, he'll want to shoot from here, no doubt, necessary Aaron Coindo. There's no doubt. But the angle's a little bit wide here for Aaron Coindo, surely. Yes, we will be doing a live watch-along for the Tuesday match. We will be doing a live watch-along for match 2, so make sure to join us for that one next Tuesday, Alvo. Hunter says Segacic needs to start next game, otherwise why take him away from the under-23 squad? Spot on, Hunter. Yep. Surely game 2, Segacic features. So, Nestori Irankunda standing over this free kick. It's a little bit too wide for a shot, but I wouldn't put it past him. Irankunda will shoot here, man. Irankunda will go for goal here. Only 2 players on the wall. Irankunda. Oh, no, he swings it in. He was looking for Burgess at the near post. Headed forward. Irankunda has it. On the left. Let's see what he can do. Wins the throw, surely. Oh, no. Okay. So Nesta trying to influence this game already. G'day, TJ. Welcome. Okay, Australia. I mean, since those subs have been made, we're looking a little, just ever so slightly more threatening going forward in attack. When we're on the ball, moving forward, it feels like from Australia there's a bit more adventure. We were playing too safe earlier on. Now there's a bit more of a desire to move forward. So we've got some throw-ins that are shifting our position up the field. Touré's leading the line for Australia now. Boss on the ball, coming in field. Just not on the same wavelength with Milanovic, who's running the other way. Come on, Australia. Come on. Got to give the fans here in Canberra something to cheer about because it's been a pretty dull performance so far from the Socceroos. Well, Izzo's long ball is a very poor one. It's cut off. And New Zealand are flying down the left. Here comes Ben Holt, chipping it in. Again, another example of New Zealand. They've had I think the broadcast showed us. New Zealand have had 16 crosses. A lot of them have been pretty inaccurate. And a long-range shot sails wide of Izzo's goal from Rufer. That's right, Hunter. Yeah, 14-0 for the under-23s the other day. Yeah, I saw that, Timmy. World Cup qualifiers happening around the world, of course. As we know, these two nations, Australia and New Zealand, already secured their places at the World Cup for next year. Here comes Touré. Just loses possession, but that's a good pass from Teague. Here we go. Australia driving forward. This is Touré driving with the ball. Lays it off for Miller, who chips it in. There's Irankunda. Oh, what a moment. Well, that's Australia's first shot of the half. Third shot in total. Nestori Irankunda, not too far away. Close indeed, Water. Got up for their header. Well, dude, I tell you what, credit to Miller for keeping that in play. Great attack from Australia. See, that's what we can do, man. It's not that hard. Great play down the right. Good pass forward from Teague to get the attack going. And then Touré laying it off for Miller and just keeping it in. And Irankunda did well to get up, but just a bit too much on their header. New Zealand working it forward nicely now. Will Australia concede late on? Ben Holt cutting in, crossing. Looking dangerous since coming off the bench, Ben Holt. New Zealand back in possession once again. We've seen it so much tonight. They controlled the ball. Australia sitting back. Again, you look at a game like this. Again, no disrespect to New Zealand, but surely this is an opportunity for Australia to just test themselves a little bit more going forward in attack. Irankunda, Touré, back to Teague. Forward to Touré, who's getting involved. Just loses it. Just some of the touches from the Australian players tonight have been a little bit heavy. Marcus says realistic World Cup target is the round of 16. Yeah, I mean, hopefully. Yeah, that'd be huge. That'd be huge if we can get there. Oh, Max Ballard's coming on, folks. It's a Socceroos debut. Look at the smile on the face of the Central Coast Mariners championship winning player. Max Ballard is about to come on. You'd imagine it's Ryan Teague who's coming off. Marcus says, why Ballard? Bring on Sega. We've got one more window after this, don't we? But this is, of course, is the final change, isn't it? This is the 5th and final change. So, special moment here, and he deserves it. What a fantastic last for this guy, Max Ballard, former Central Coast Mariner, on for his Socceroos debut. Won the 2013 A-League Men's Championship with Central Coast Mariners. Won the treble with the Mariners in 2014. Ballard is on, replacing Ryan Teague. Teague's been good tonight, man. He's worked hard in midfield. So Max Ballard makes his Socceroos debut. Another debut here. Milanovic, Ballard, and Paul Izzo all making their Socceroos debuts. Great to add some more caps to the squad here. And there we go. Just as I say that, Hunter. That's right. The 3 debuts, Milanovic, Izzo, and Ballard. Here we go. Down the right. Toure trying to find some space. And he's won the corner. Mo Toure looking to get the crowd involved, hyping up the crowd. He's been lively since coming off the bench, hasn't he, Toure? And it did again. I said it earlier. Even before they came on, I was like, these guys are going to change the game. And they have changed the game. Australia are pushing New Zealand back and looking more threatening. This needed to happen earlier. It's so obvious. So, Aaron Kund is going to take this corner. Outswinger. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to go? Delivery's good. 2. Almost for Chikati. New Zealand deal with it. Flicked up again. Still on. Toure. Good strength from Toure. Crossing. Chikati. Chikati. Can't find the space. Toure still in the box. Well, this is a bit of sustained pressure here from Australia. Toure still. Good pass. Ballard. Oh, Ballard has scored. Max Ballard. What a moment. Oh, a minute into his debut. Max Ballard has scored for Australia. Oh, it's the stuff of dreams, folks. Oh, what a moment. Oh, Australia have done it again. Oh, my goodness. Winning the championship in 2023 with the Mariners. Winning the treble with the Mariners in 2024. And a great season in the Netherlands. Everyone was screaming out for his Socceroos call-up, for his Socceroos debut. He's on the field and he scores instantly. Great work from Toure. Space in the box. And that's a beautiful finish. He didn't score many for the Mariners, but he scored here for the Australian national team. And after so much defending, it's the Socceroos who take the lead. Oh, wow. Finally a goal, says Tarnley. What a moment, says John. Incredible. Super sub, says Hunter. Max the man, says Tibby. Oh, that is incredible. Look at what a moment. Look at the passion on the face of Max Ballard and the celebrations from the players. I can't believe it. The way the ball fell to him and the side of that ball. You could tell when it came off the boot from Ballard that it was destined for that far corner. Brilliant finish. And again, just want to highlight the impact that these substitutes have made. Toure with the assist. He's been fantastic since coming on. Aaron Kunda's making an impact. And Max Ballard scores off the bench. It's this next generation of players that need to be given the opportunity. Because if they get given the chance here, they will make an impact. What a special group of players we have. Well, Australia take the lead here, despite New Zealand's probably being the better side tonight, you got to say. And even if Australia do go on to win this game, questions still need to be asked as to why we didn't see these changes earlier. Defensively, Australia have been good tonight. In attack, it hasn't worked. Tony Popovic waiting so long as the shot comes in for New Zealand. Paul Izzo, good save. McGarry strike. Wow. Wow, dude. 1-0 lead here for Australia. Right at the end, it's a similar vibe to the game against Japan after so much defending. Australia flying away down the right. Look at this energy that we have now. It's Miller. It's Milanovic down the right. Milanovic cutting in. Milanovic is blocked. And will be a throw. So we're about to enter injury time. I don't think we'll get all that much. I mean, we had the De Vries injury. So maybe 3-4 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. Hunter asks, does Izzo start next week? Do we put Gauchi or Glover on? Izzo's been impressed tonight. He has been good. I would still give, shake it up. I would still give Gauchi a run. Or even Glover, honestly. Just because it's a friendly match, man. You may as well rotate the keeper. Miller's long throw is great. Or flicked on. Oh, the header was on target from Boss. 4 minutes added on, folks. Well, New Zealand are surely going to push forward now to try and get something out of this game. For the final few minutes here. I mean, it almost looks like Australia won a second. Hey. Milanovic on the ball, losing it. Strong challenge from Rufar. The whistle's been blown. I don't know if I saw a foul there, but anyway. Free kick. Final moments. Final moments in this game. 4 minutes added on total. 3 to go. Just got to stay focused at the back here. Wouldn't want to spoil it by conceding a goal late on. Long ball chipped in by Bell. Away by Burgess, who's been very good in defence tonight. Strong tackle by Boss. He's been good as well. And Aaron Kunda is getting back and wins the throw. So, we will be doing a live watch along for Game 2 next week. Make sure to join us for that one. Hopefully we see these guys, Ture, Aaron Kunda, maybe some of the others, Segicic, getting some more game time in Game 2 over in Auckland. It'll be a strong crowd, I'm sure, in attendance for that one. New Zealand hosting Australia for Game 2. And New Zealand, if they are set to lose here, will be very eager to bounce back on home soil with a win. So it'll be a tough test next week. Hunter says, we were good defensively, just had a very weird starting front line. Definitely an experiment that didn't work. Spot on, Hunter. It clearly didn't work for Australia. It's just blatant. It doesn't take an expert to figure it out. These substitutes have changed the game completely. And surely Tony Popovic sees how this game has changed with these energetic young players coming on and completely changing the vibe of things. Good cross from Elliott, away by Deganek. Ture, strong hold-up play. That's what we're missing in that for the first 70 minutes of the game, dude. Ture, you bring on a recognised striker like that, completely different from Martin Boyle. Again, Tony Popovic, he's been fantastic for Australia, but we have to question his selection choices for the starting 11 in this game. Did not get it right at all. So, full-time whistles about to ring out here. Timmy says plenty to work on in training this week while they are together. That's the thing, hey, like these players aren't even together for that long, hey. So, a few days before the Socceroos head over to New Zealand for Game 2. Join us for the live watch along for Game 2 next week on Tuesday. Hopefully, even more players making an impact, and hopefully, maybe a debut for Adrian Segicic, who's, I think, now the only player in the squad yet to make a debut. There's the full-time whistle. Australia win. And what a magical moment for Max Ballard coming on at the end and scoring late for Australia. Incredible. Incredible moment for Max Ballard. Dude, as a Mariners fan, I'm just chuffed for Max Ballard. He deserves it. He's had a fantastic last few years in his career, and he deserves his debut and a goal. Just an incredible moment. So Australia win. New Zealand with a better team. I don't think there's any debating that. Australia, look, were good defensively. Took far too long to make those changes. As we saw there, Ture, Aaron Kunda, Milanovic coming on completely changed the game, and it helped Australia get the win in the end. Join us next Tuesday for our live watch along for Game 2. Hopefully, some more minutes for the likes of Toure, Irankunda, maybe even someone like Adrian Segacic. And as Hunter says here, Segacic, Toure, Irankunda should be starting, should start the next game up front if we're keeping this formation. Would love to see that. Would certainly love to see that. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your weekend as well. Really appreciate you guys joining us for this live watch along. See you next Tuesday for game.